stand in the light and be seen as we are. Didn't I tell you I hear what you say? Never look back as you're walking away. Carry the music, the memories, and keep them inside you. Laugh every day. Don't stop those tears from falling down. This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna hide. 'Cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are. Stand in the light and be seen as we are. With courage and kindness, hold on to your faith. You get what you give and it's never too late to reach for the branch and climb up, leaving sadness behind you. Find hard for life. We can never give enough. This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna hide. 'Cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are. Stand in the light and be seen as we are. Right in the storms that come raging toward us, we die. Holding our breath as we break through the surface with arms open wide. With arms open wide. This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna hide. 'Cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are. Stand in the light and be seen as we stand in the light and be seen as we are.
I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing on me. I'm only one call away. Call me baby if you need a friend. I just wanna give you love. Come on, come on, come on. Reaching out to you, so take a chance. No matter where you go, know you're not alone. I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing. scared. I just wanna set you free. Come on, come on, come on. You and me can make it anywhere. And for now, we can stay here for a while. Hey, 'cause you know, I just wanna see you smile. No matter where you go, you know you're not alone. I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing on me. I'm only one call away. And when you're weak, I'll be strong. I'm gonna keep holding on. Now don't you worry, it won't be long, darling. When you feel like hope is gone, just run into my arms. I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing on me. I'm only one. I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing on me. I'm only one call away. I'm only one call away.
Hands, put your empty hands in mine. And scars, show me all the scars you hide. And hey, if your wings are broken, please take mine so yours can open too. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you. Oh, tears make kaleidoscopes in your eyes. It hurt, I know you're hurting, but so am I. And love, if your wings are broken, borrow mine so yours can open too. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you, even if we break it down. We can find a way to break through. Even if we can't find heaven, I'll walk through hell with you. you. Even if we can't find heaven, I'm gonna stand by you. Even if we can't find heaven, I'll walk through hell with you. No, you're not alone, 'cause I'm gonna stand by you. Love, you're not alone, I'm gonna stand by you. Even if we can't find heaven, yeah, I'm gonna stand by you.
During the Crimean War, more soldiers died from infection than in battle. Until a nurse introduced sanitary practices still in use today. When the scourge of polio hit the world, it was standard practice to strap down and immobilize patients. Until a nurse discovered that movement and physical therapy had far better results. In the 1950s, jaundice was a leading cause of infant death, until a nurse found that a few hours of sunlight could actually cure the condition. At the dawn of the AIDS epidemic, no one knew how the disease spread, so patients were kept quarantined and alone, until nurses defied convention and embraced them with compassion. During the Ebola outbreak, the disease was thought by many to be too contagious to treat, until a student nurse used what she had on hand, garbage bags and duct tape, to protect herself so she could care for others. And cerebral palsy robbed many patients of their ability to speak, until a nurse gave them back their voices. And I will always be grateful to her.
You can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. You, the silence is quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains, and I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again.
Stand for the invocation. Loving God, we thank you for each of these special nursing students, for their gifts and talents, and for calling them to share in your ministry of healing. Blessed be the works of each of these hands that will provide gentle comfort to those in need. Hands that embrace others with an authentic presence in the healing environment. Hands that will carry out tasks as part of caring for each other, families, and the community. These nursing hands are an extension of a compassionate, caring heart. Therein lies the core of nursing. Thank you. You may be seated.
Good evening. My name is Mark Kenlaw, and I'm president here at Rockingham Community College, and I want to welcome you to our Associate Degree Nursing Class of 2019 Capping and Pinning Ceremony. I want to first extend my congratulations to our graduates, and so job well done. I know it's been a long journey. You worked incredibly hard. It's a very difficult program. I wish you well in all that you do. Certainly wish you well on the NCLEX, but all of that's going to go well for you. You'll do fine. But I want to wish you well as you go out and serve patients, and we're counting on you to take care of all of us. But I certainly wish you the very best as you proceed in your career. And thank you for choosing Rockingham Community College. I also want to extend my greetings to all the family and friends that are here to support our students. Without your support, these graduates would not be as successful as they have been. So thank you very much for being here and believing in them. So I want to thank our director, Dr. Phyllis Horton, and her faculty and all of the staff that are supportive of our students. They work incredibly hard to make sure that our students are successful in their degree or their degree aspirations. So thank you very much for the work that all of you have done. I also want to thank our clinical partners, because without them, we would not be able to have the clinical rotation and the hands-on experiences and the applications that our students need as they progress through our program. So I hope you enjoy our program tonight. I just encourage you to continue to support each of these students or graduates as they go out to serve and to work in their field. So thank you very much for being here and enjoy the ceremony. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Welcome, and thank you for attending our 2019 ADN Capping and Pinning Ceremony. We have all worked very hard to get to this day, and we could not have succeeded in this journey without the support of everyone in this auditorium. Administration, faculty, family, and close friends. One of the most important titles that I did not mention are fellow classmates. We have grown close during this process. Together we have celebrated great accomplishments. We have supported each other through losses, and we have all cheered each other on to get to this day. Lifelong friendships have been built, and imprints have been molded into our hearts by our instructors, whom have been very, very patient and understanding as we have grown in this profession that we love. Thank you. Our instructors have shown us that nursing is more than medicine. Nursing is caring and compassion. This is a day we will forever cherish and keep inside of our hearts. It is such a great pleasure to have you celebrate this accomplishment with us. I will conclude with a verse that was given to me by a fellow classmate that many of us have relied on through this process. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Thank you.
Welcome, and thank you for being with us tonight to celebrate this very special occasion for our nursing students. I'd like to speak to our students. I've only been your dean for a short period of time. However, I've been with you for 2 years. I've enjoyed the times I've got to talk with each of you in the atrium. I've enjoyed the times I got to eat with you guys outside at the table. I have seen your hard work. I have witnessed many hours that you have put into the Safe Center and studying in that beautiful simulated hospital. You have picked an awesome career that will bring you a tremendous amount of joy and many, many opportunities. I do have one piece of advice for you. Take care of yourself. You will be a daily caregiver to many individuals. Do not forget yourself. Thank you for your dedication to our nursing program and to Rockingham Community College. I wish you the best in everything that you do. Happy Nurses Week as you begin your career.
Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This is a heck of a journey that we've completed tonight. Our guest speaker tonight graduated with his bachelor's degree in nursing in 1977 from a school that I'm sure no one here has heard of, UNC. No, that would be the University of Northern Colorado. He has worked his nursing career predominantly in the public health and rehabilitation nursing fields. He continued his educational path all the way through to his doctorate of nursing at a school whose colors are a bit darker blue, the University of Kentucky. Dr. Kautz has been a nursing educator in associate's, bachelor's, and master's levels nursing program. He hung up his teaching cap in 2016 after 13 years at our UNCG. Dr. Kautz has been published in over 100 nursing journals with his colleagues and has been a guest speaker presenting at multiple local, regional, national, and international nursing events. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Dr. Don Kautz to the 2019 capping and pinning ceremony. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, Jen. Well, if I were in your shoes, and I just heard that your speaker has published over 100 articles and done hundreds of presentations, I'd be saying to myself, we are never going to get out of here. So clearly, I think I have something to say. But I want you to know, it's all on one page. It's going to be okay. I want you to look at these two groups. Here's this faculty over here, and here's these graduates over here. And for the first time, they're both in the same building, and these people don't have assignments for these people to do, which is pretty cool. But you grads, you owe everybody in this room something big, and that's to pass that NCLEX the first time you take it. You wouldn't be here if you couldn't do that. And that ATI will tell you when you're ready. So take it when you're ready and pass it. Turn to the person next to you, give them a high five and say, I will pass the NCLEX the first time. We got to keep up the strong tradition. Rockingham Community College, 90% of the students passed last year, the first time. I think it could be 100% this year. I think it could. Now that you're starting your career, life's going to get even crazier, believe it or not, than it has been as a student. Sometimes you're going to feel like this Zen parable that I'm going to tell. And in that Zen parable, a man is being chased by a tiger. And in order to escape that tiger, he has to jump off a cliff. But luckily, there's a vine there, and he grabs the vine, and he holds on. And he looks up, and there's a tiger 15 feet above him, snarling and growling. And he looks down, and there's a tiger below him, 15 feet below, snarling and growling. And so the only thing he can do is hang on to the vine. And yet while he's hanging there, he sees a strawberry growing. And so he picks it and enjoys its sweetness. There's a lot of tigers that we can't escape. New jobs, family, all these things, the NCLEX, all these things. But again, as the dean said, take time to enjoy the strawberries. The way that you can do that in my book as a nurse is by having gratitude, by enjoying the wonder of the moment, and through laughter. And I'm going to talk briefly about each of those. I republished a story that a flight attendant tells that she calls Fireworks from Above. And she says one of the most awesome things about being a flight attendant is flying over fireworks and looking down on them. I think that'd be pretty cool. There's a lot of things in nursing that we have that are just like that, just like seeing fireworks from above. But when you watch flight attendants work, they're working really hard. They have to say thank you when picking up garbage. That just blows me away every time that happens. They hold out a bag, you give them garbage, and they say thank you. I don't know any nurse who has to do that. And it's human nature not to follow the rules. So they have to keep telling people, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. They have to keep doing it. And people know they're supposed to be sitting down, and they don't do it. And the other thing I realized from Faylene's story is that flight attendants get bruises on the bottom of their feet because they're up walking around in all that turbulence while the rest of us are sitting on nice cushioned chairs. Sometimes they even get knocked down. And then she goes on to tell a story of shortly after September 11th, 2001, and she was a flight attendant, and she was flying, and she said it was an awful time to be in the airline industry and to be a passenger because everybody was on edge. The pilots were on edge. All the people taking the money and tickets were on edge. All the flight attendants were on edge. All the passengers were on edge. Everybody was on edge. And so here she was, shortly after 9/11, on a flight from New York to LA. And it was one of these flights where there is no first class. And so this man got on, and he was carrying a garbage bag with him, a garbage bag. And that's one of the pet peeves of flight attendants is you can't go to Walmart and get a $10 roll-on. You have to carry a garbage bag with your stuff in it. And this guy walks on, and he stops in row 2. And he opens the bin, and he puts his garbage bag up there, and he closes it, and then he just stands there like he's guarding it. And that's another thing that just really ticks off flight attendants, because half the time people put their luggage up front, even though they're sitting in the back. And he wouldn't sit down. He's just standing there in the way. Well, finally he sat down, and he was in row 2. And the plane took off, and immediately after that, the guy in row 3 got up, as the plane is taking off, got up and went to the bathroom. And she's trying to catch him, and he gets in the bathroom. And this guy in row 2 stands back up. And she says to him, because she's facing him in the jump seat, she says, "Sir, I need you to sit down. We're still taking off. Please sit down." And he said, "I'm sorry, but I really have to pee bad, and I just can't sit there anymore." And so she had to make a decision. Do I enforce the rules, or do I be nice? And she decided to do what flight attendants do. So she looked at him and said, "Well, are you traveling for pleasure or for business? And he said, neither. And she said, neither? And she said, no, I'm going back home. I've just been out here one day. You see, my son was a first responder in 9/11, and he died in the South Tower. And I came out here to get his uniform because it's all I have of him. And it's in a trash bag up in the bin. And that flight attendant knew that her job at that point was to make that man's flight the best flight he ever had. And she learned to be grateful for what she did. And so now she says, when someone's giving her trash and she says, thank you, she's not saying, thank you for your trash. She's saying, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for this wonderful job. Thank you for the fireworks from above. Thank you for these shoes that make my feet hurt less. Thank you. And one of the most important things that all of us have to learn is that when we're feeling gratitude, we can't feel anything else. It's impossible. We're hardwired that way. So the next time any of you feel like you're hanging on the vine and it's bad, think about that strawberry and think about what you're grateful for. And I guarantee you, you'll feel better. Dr. Jean Watson, the most famous nurse in the world, tells the story of being in the hospital as her daughter just had a baby. And the family's all in the room. They're all around the baby, and they're there. And there's a knock on the door. And a nurse comes in and says, excuse me, I need to ask you all to step out. I've got to do an assessment of the mom and the baby. And so she did, very professionally, very nicely, very efficiently, very evidence-based, very compassionately. And then she left. Well, you know, she was doing that because it was change of shift time. So just a short while later, another nurse came in and again was going to ask the family to leave. But this nurse, as she walked in, she opened the door and she saw the family there with the new baby. And she said, oh, this is why I became a nurse, to see this. And all of us have moments like that in nursing, where we see something that's just awesome. And when you see that, not only have that gratitude, but that chance to see the wonder in what we're doing. A third strategy is to have a sense of humor. A speaker once asked me, is it fun where you work? Are your patients smiling when you leave them? If not, what have you allowed to happen? What have you allowed to happen? And so share laughter with your patients. Not at them. We're not laughing at patients. We're laughing with them. And you know, we've talked about Florence Nightingale. She was on the movie. And Florence Nightingale didn't have a light bulb, but she had a lamp. And there's a whole bunch of jokes about light bulbs that you can apply to Florence Nightingale. One of my favorites is, Florence Nightingale was a visionary. How many visionaries does it take to change a lamp? None. The visionaries believe they are the light. She was a nursing instructor. How many nursing instructors does it take to change a lamp? Only one, but they want to make sure at least 10 students are watching. And finally, thank goodness Florence wasn't my nursing instructor, because Florence didn't believe men should be nurses. How about that? And so how many men does it take to change a lamp? Well, why on earth would you ask a man to change a lamp? First off, you're going to have to ask him 10 times. And then he's going to pull the chair over to change the lamp, and he's going to take the old light bulb down and put it under the chair. You think that lamp is getting in the trash? No, it's staying there. And then he's going to put the new light bulb in and leave the trash there. So why on earth would you let men into nursing? Anyway, I love it. It's my favorite joke. And finally, be open to wonder of the moment. One of the most powerful stories that a nurse and I published was she was working at Baptist on 11 Reynolds, where people are very, very, very sick. And one day she was working, her name was Amy. And one day she was working, and patients routinely came up to see the nurses there months later after they'd been discharged. And so a woman came up to her and said, "Oh, Amy, Amy." And so Amy hugged her, and the woman cried and cried. And finally, when she was done, Amy said, "I'm sorry, I don't remember you." And the woman said, "I was so sick, everyone thought I was going to die. And you washed my hair." It's in those moments that we make the dramatic difference in our patient's life. Because all any of us have is this moment right here, right now. And when we say to a patient, "Hi, my name's Don, I'm going to be your nurse today," we are saying it doesn't matter if you can't talk, if you can't walk, if you're too sick, if you have horrible infections, it doesn't matter. Come to me. I will take care of you. And so just walking in that room provides such hope for that patient. It's been said that if all there was to nursing was caring, anyone could be a nurse. That's a lie. The automatic response to sickness, to disability, to death is to run away. And yet nurses don't run away. We say, "Come on, it's okay, come on." As I said before, all any of us have is this moment we have right now, right here. I want to thank you for the opportunity to come speak, and I want to thank you for becoming nurses, and I want to thank you for this opportunity.
Good evening to you all. I have the honor and privilege tonight to read each of these wonderful students' thank yous to their families, their friends, their instructors, the staff, everyone that's here tonight. So each one of these, they've written themselves, so it's very personal to each one of our wonderful students tonight. Megan Bailey. I would like to start off by thanking the Lord for allowing me to be accepted into the program and being with me all the way through. To my husband, John, thank you for your support, encouragement, patience throughout this program. To my mom and dad, thank you for always pushing me to be better. And lastly, to my family and my friends present today, thank you for your love, prayers, and encouragement. Megan T. Bailey. Jenna Brooke Bullins. To the nursing instructors at RCC, I want to say thank you for believing in me and pushing us to do our very best. To my family, including my parents, Anna and Roger, my grandmother, Charlene, and my in-laws, Cindy, Timmy, Tabitha, and Veda, and my best friend, Deanna, thank you for all of your support throughout this journey. I could not have done it without all of your help and encouragement. To Dree and Katie, thank you both for always being there for me and being my shoulder to lean on. We have always pushed each other through good and bad times and never gave up on each other. I could not have made it through this program without both of you. To TJ, thank you for helping me turn my dream into this reality. I would not be where I am today without all of your love and support. I love you. To my daughter, Sophia, thank you for being patient with me while I have been so involved in school. My hope is that you one day will look at me as one of your biggest role models. I love you. Jenna Brooke Bullins. April Bryant. First and foremost, I would like to thank God for his guidance throughout this journey and making this day possible. I would like to thank my husband, Randy, and my two sons, Jalen and Jordan, for believing in my dreams and being my biggest supporters. I would also like to thank my mother for her words of encouragement and helping with our granddaughter, Yaslin, on these early, cold clinical mornings. I would like to thank my family and friends for their continued support and prayers throughout this journey. I would like to send a special thank you to my classmates for sharing this ride with me. We will share a special bond that I will treasure forever. Lastly, I would like to thank my instructors, Mrs. Parker and Mrs. Pretty, for their support, encouragement, and guidance throughout this experience. April Bryant. Amy Nicole Cruz. First and foremost, I thank God for his goodness and faithfulness in my life. Because of him and all the people who prayed for me over the past 2 years have made it possible that I can stand here today. Next, I want to thank my family and my friends I'm lucky enough to call family. Y'all have kept my feet grounded, cheered me on when I felt like giving up, and have been the best support system a girl could ever ask for. I thank God again for people like you in my life who have never let me forget how truly loved I am. Lastly, thank you teachers, instructors, my classmates, my preceptor Ashley, for your patience, reassurance, and guidance in molding me to become the nurse that I'm on my way to be. Amy Nicole Cruz. Caitlin Elizabeth Ellis. I would like to thank many people for supporting and encouraging me throughout this program, but first I'd like to thank Jesus. Secondly, I would like to include a special thank you to my papa, who inspired me to choose a career that helps others. I'd like to thank my mom and Mama for motivating me to graduate, mainly by reminding me daily that it's time to move out. And I'd also like to thank my dad and stepmom for their encouragement. Lastly, I'd like to thank Parker for being there for most of the journey. Caitlin is being penned by her mom, Joyce Ellis, who is an RN at Annie Penn and currently pursuing her nurse practitioner degree. Caitlin Elizabeth Ellis. Jennifer Jo Beth Fuller. Tonight is a night that has been almost 20 years in the making for me, and truthfully, there are times over the last 5 semesters that I wasn't sure I was going to make it. There were times I questioned my sanity, many times. Tonight proves that age doesn't matter, that any goal can be accomplished if one just sets their mind and feet to the task. And if you have instructors that are willing to deal with a boat ton of derpy questions. Thanks, Miss Basinek and Mrs. Gaither, for all your patience and guidance. My heartfelt thanks to my parents. Mom, for constantly asking, "Are you studying?" Dad, for always reminding me to stay focused. And my biggest two cheerleaders and motivators, my beautiful daughters, Maddie and Abby. Without their constant, "Good job, Mom," this would have been a much duller experience. I love you guys. To my sisters, Amanda and Christy, thank you for the ears when I just wanted to lay down and quit. For the calls, texts, Facebook messages, questioning why I chose this path and can I even do it. For believing in me when I didn't or couldn't believe in myself. Thank you for being here to witness to the culmination of a very significant journey in my life. Jennifer JoBeth Fuller. Alana Eve Going. First, I would like to thank God because without Him, I would not be where I am today. I would like to thank my family, friends, and especially my boyfriend, Gray, for supporting me through my nursing school journey. Thank you for dealing with my crying every week before tests, calming my nerves, and reassuring me that I will make it through. I could not have done this without each one of you, and I love you all so much. I would also like to thank Donna Holder, my high school health science teacher, for supporting my dream of becoming a nurse. Thank you always for being there to answer any questions I had and supporting me through nursing school. Alana is being penned today by her grandmother, Pam Robertson. Alana Eve Gowen. Avery Hands. I would like to thank my family and friends for helping me get through this rough but rewarding time. I truly appreciate the sacrifices you all have made so that I can stand here today. Thank you to Emily for taking me in when I needed a friendly place to call home for this journey. I would like to thank my grandparents for making my dreams possible and investing in my dreams. Thank you to my mom for being my biggest cheerleader in my life and always my rock. Avery Hands. Linda G. Long. I would like to thank God first and foremost because without Him, none of this would be possible. He provided the strength, endurance, willpower, and opened the paths I needed to accomplish this goal. I also would like to thank my son Christopher, who helped me with household responsibilities and pitched in whenever I needed so I could study, my co-workers who helped with my work schedule, and always my mom for support. Linda G. Long. Madison Mitz. I would like to thank my fiance, Michael, for embarking on this challenging journey with me. Thanks for encouraging me, supporting me, and always believing in me. I'd like to thank my son, Daxton, and stepson, Braden, for being incredibly patient while putting up with such a stressed-out mama during this time. I would like to thank my mother for her overwhelming support she has selflessly given me from the start of this program until now. I'd like to thank my best friend, Heather, for being my backbone through this rigorous program. I am blessed to have someone who knew exactly what I was going through by my side all the way through. Lastly, I'd like to thank all of my family and instructors who have supported me. I couldn't have done it without you all. Madison Mintz. Kayla Miranda Motley. I want to first thank God who brought me this far and allowing my dream to come true. Thank you to my parents for being everything I've ever needed you to be throughout this journey. Thanks for loving me, supporting me financially, mentally, and emotionally. Thanks for giving me the push I needed to keep going. You made a lot of this possible. Thanks to my sisters and brothers for keeping me motivated and on the right track in your words of wisdom. Thanks for understanding my lack of social life. Thanks to my grandparents for all you have done. Thanks to my boyfriend who helped me greatly. Thanks for being patient and understanding my mood swings. Thank you for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. I want to extend a special thank you to all of my instructors, a special thank you to Mrs. Pacinik, who always gave me motivational words and believing I was capable of this. Mrs. Parker, thanks for seeing the best in me. I'll never forget crying in your office, but look, I've made it. I've met some wonderful people over these 2 years, and I'll forever be grateful to each of you. Kayla Miranda Motley. Pia Parris. In memory of my father, Reginald Parris. In honor of my mother, Portia Parris. Thank you to my boyfriend, Curtis Slade, my sister, Karen Parris, my classmates in the entire Rockingham Community College ADN, RN staff for their love and support throughout this journey. Last but certainly not least, thank God for maintaining my resiliency through adversity and bestowing upon me the endurance, tenacity, and fortitude required to complete this program. Pia Parris. Jeree Elaine Fields Pegram. First and foremost, my humble thanks to my Lord and Savior. My family and friends, without your support, this would not have been possible. You have seen me stressed, anxious, upset, and nearly defeated. We have sacrificed family time and quality time. You have shown a great deal of patience, love, and understanding. My daughter Amber, I hope we can begin anew and make up for the time that you felt I wasn't there for you. I love you. Jenna Bullins and Katie Perkins, you are more than friends. You are my family. You have comforted me as I've cried, and you have reassured me when I needed it the most. You have persevered with hard work and encouragement for each other. My instructors, you are excellent role models. Thank you all very much. And last but not least, my mother. Thank you, Ma. I love you and miss you. This is a lifelong dream that finally has come true. Thank you all for sharing in this tremendous achievement. Jeree Elaine Fields Pegram. Tristan Perez. I would like to start by thanking our wonderful instructors for sharing their nursing knowledge with me throughout this journey. I would like to thank my amazing work family who have encouraged me throughout this program. All of the text on my test days meant so much to me. I would like to thank all of my family here tonight that have encouraged me every step of the way. Last but not least, I want to thank my two girls, Ashlyn and Bella. You two have sacrificed so much in order for me to have time to study. This is for you too. Tristan Perez. Caitlin Elizabeth Perkins. Thank you to our nursing instructors and staff at RCC for your constant encouragement and pushing us to be the best we could be. To Eric, thank you so much for your never-ending love and support. I wouldn't have been able to get through this program without you. I promise to have more time to spend with you and the boys and maybe cook more meals. I love you. To Jenna and Jeree, meeting you has been the best part of this journey. Thank you both for your friendship, honesty, and your constant ability to make me laugh. I'd also like to thank you for your trust in my driving skills. I'm not sure why, but you always continue to allow me to drive us everywhere. And last but not least, thank you to my family, Mom, Grandma, Grandpa, who flew over 600 miles to be here for my special day. I love you all and thank you for always being so encouraging and supportive. Caitlin Elizabeth Perkins. Brandy Rayshawn Pickard. I would first like to thank God for allowing me to be able to achieve such a goal. Without Him, none of this would have been possible. I am thankful for my supportive parents who have helped me financially and emotionally during this vigorous 2 years. Without them, I would not have been able to do it. I would also like to thank my amazing boyfriend who has stayed by my side through these long, stressful nights. To Mrs. Parker, I would like to thank you for motivating me and pushing me to do more than average, although I still believe your tests are the hardest. Mrs. Pasenik, thank you for your love and support through some of my obstacles during school. You were always there for me, and I truly appreciate that. Finally, to my wonderful classmates, you are more than classmates to me. We are now family. Thanks for all the good times and wonderful support during these 2 years. I will truly miss you all, but I am so proud of everyone. Brandy Rayshawn Pickard. Heather Marie Penix. First, I would like to thank my parents for supporting and encouraging me. I know I haven't been a lot of help around the farm lately because of this journey, but thank you for allowing me to chase my dreams. To Derek, Vanessa, and Crystal, thank you all for all that you have done for me in my many late-night phone calls, listening to my many complaints and tears, and always telling me that y'all have faith in me. Your constant reminder that I will make a wonderful nurse has helped me to believe in myself. Lastly, to Madison, thank you for being my best friend through it all and being there for me day in and day out. I didn't know much about nursing school when I first entered this program, but it was one thing I did know. It was that you would make the best friend who would ever be there for you through thick and thin. We made it through this journey together. Let's go be nurses now. Heather Marie Penix. Megan Reeves. I would first like to thank God for the strength and ability to reach my goal. I would like to say thank you to my family for their support and encouragement throughout this program. I would also like to give a special thank you to Mrs. Parker and Mrs. Pretty. This semester has been very challenging, but they continue to encourage me and give me the motivation I needed to continue. Because of them, I know I can enter the nursing field as an RN and provide the best care possible to my patients. Megan Reeves. Jenny Orr Rue. Thank you to my parents and Brooke for listening, loving, and helping me throughout school. Thank you to my husband, Christian. You deserve an award for the amount of NCLEX questions you have read to me this past year. A very special thank you to all the nursing staff at RCC and the staff at UNC Rockingham for helping me be the nurse that I am today. Thank you, God, for letting me graduate. Jenny Orr Rue. Crystal Slate. I want to start by saying thank you to my mom who encouraged me throughout my journey. Thank you to my husband, my son, my daughter, and my son-in-law for being there for me and being patient with me while I studied day and night. I also want to thank my family and my teachers for being supportive and most of all believing in me. I thank God for allowing me to be a part of this nursing family and standing by me while I fulfilled my goals and my dreams. Crystal Slate. Amy Frances Stanley. I want to thank God for being my rock and giving me strength. I couldn't have done it without my faith to push through and just keep going. I want to thank my family for supporting me and to my parents for allowing me to stay at home so I could work less and focus on school. A special thank you to my fiance Corbin for always being there for me. I could not have done this without you. Amy Frances Stanley. Sandy Perry Strader. Most importantly, I want to give credit to God for guiding me through this journey. I have called on Him numerous times and have felt His presence every step of the way. To my most precious boys, Parker, Cooper, and Bo Brantley, thank you for being my driving force. I know I have missed school activities, playtime, and a few games, but I did this for you guys and for your future. I kept going strong because I knew you were watching. I love you so much. To my husband, my support system, and my lifelong best friend, I don't know what to say except thank you, and I'm so sorry for all the emotional breakdowns. Can you believe it? We did this thing, babe. Dad, I love you. Your support and encouragement through all the things have been so comforting. Thank you for setting the best example and teaching me such a strong work ethic. Sissy and Keith, thank you for all of the encouraging texts and calls early in the morning, your wonderful advice, and all your help and support with the boys. I couldn't have done this without you. I love you. Julie, I look up to you and your accomplishments. Thank you for your advice and encouragement. Love you. Brian and Dana, thank you for your brutal honesty and continuing to be our friends throughout all the studying. Love you. Last but definitely not least, Mom and Jane, I know have been with me through this journey, and I know you are both proud. I love and miss you so much. To all of my instructors, thank you for all of your guidance and understanding. I appreciate each one of you. You all have made a lasting impression on my heart. My favorite quote, "The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away." William Shakespeare. Sandy Perry Strader. Rachel Tate. I would like to start by saying thank you to God for giving me the strength to be able to reach my goal as a nurse. I would like to thank my husband and family for being supportive and encouraging throughout the program. I would also like to thank my teachers, Mrs. Parker and Miss Pretty, for all the encouragement and help throughout this program. I could not have reached these goals without each of you. Thank you. Rachel Tate. Keisha Laurel Topping. This nursing accomplishment is dedicated to my Aunt Patsy, who is no longer with us, and my Aunt Winnie, who couldn't be here today. I would like to thank them for loving me unconditionally. I'd like to give a big thanks to my children, Ron and Justine, for their love and support. Last but not least, thanks to my sisters and friends who have supported, encouraged, and believed in me, especially on days that I doubted myself. I am proud to be a nurse. Keisha Laurel Topping. Vanessa Lisbeth Valdinovas. Valdivinos. I knew I was going to do it. First and foremost, I would like to take the time to thank God for allowing me to be here today, graduating as a nurse. None of this would be impossible if it were not for Him hearing and answering my endless prayers. I would like to thank my family, especially my parents and my older brother, for their love and support. To the instructors, but especially Mrs. Gaither, thank you for all that you do. I hope to be half as good a nurse as you one day. To my preceptor, Janice, for her words of wisdom, her patience, and for making me a much more confident and competent nursing student. Thank you for my scholarship donors for their generosity. This was possible thanks to you. Last but certainly not least, I want to give a huge thank you to my boyfriend, Raul. Thank you for your patience these last 2 years, for being my shoulder to cry on, for listening to my endless rants, and for never letting me give up when I felt like I couldn't go on. I love you. Vanessa Lisbeth Valdovinas. Caitlin Alexandria Watlington. To Mama and Diddy, thank you for your unwavering amount of support, for pushing me when I thought I had already reached my limit, and for putting up with my stress-induced attitude. I love y'all more than you'll ever know. To Grandma Brenda, Matt, and Amanda, thank you for always supporting me and loving me through these past 2 years. I love y'all. To Brandy, thank you for your support, guidance, and motivation. I hope to be half the nurse you are one day. I love you, soul sister. To my nieces and nephews, Kylie, Paisley, and Hudson, thank each of you for all the love you give me when it was needed most. Annie KK loves you. To my guardian angels, Papa Billy and Grandma Sue, even though y'all couldn't be here physically, I know y'all are watching me accomplish my dreams that you told me to chase. I miss and love you both so much. I wouldn't be the person I am today without y'all's guidance. To my friends in low places, I don't think we could have made it through this program without each other. I'm thankful to call y'all my friends. I love you. Caitlin Alexandria Watlington.
There is a candle in every soul, some brightly burning and some dark and cold. And there is a spirit who brings a fire, ignites a candle and makes his home. Carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the helpless, confused and torn, and hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle and go light your world. Take your candle and go light your world. Frustrated brother, see how he's tried to light his own candle some other way. And see now your sister, she's been robbed and lied to, still holds a candle without a flame. So carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the lonely, the tired and worn.
Please repeat your
Hold
nurse's
out
prayer
your
after me.
candle,
I promise to take care of the
to
sick
see it. Take
with
your
all the
candle,
skill
go like your
and understanding I possess,
Take your candle,
without regard
go
to
like
race,
your
creed, color, politics, or social status, sparing no effort
We are of
to conserve life, to alleviate suffering, and promote health. I will respect at all times the dignity and religious beliefs of the patients entrusted in my care, holding in confidence all personal information entrusted to me. I will endeavor to keep my professional knowledge and skill at the highest level and give loyal support and cooperation to all members of the health team. Thank you. You may blow out your lamps.
Graduates, somewhere in the United States right now at this moment, there's a psychiatric nurse taking care of a middle school student whose anxiety was so high, he threatened some people. There's an OR nurse somewhere right now calling a timeout to a surgeon to make sure the correct procedure is taking place. Right now, there's a labor and delivery nurse handing a newborn baby to a new mother. Right now, there's a palliative care nurse keeping a client comfortable and pain-free. And right now, there's a hospice nurse holding a patient's hand while they take their last breath and pass in dignity. So whatever path you choose, feel confident and assured that you've had the education and training to go claim it and do it and pass the NCLEX on the first attempt. Folks, I present to you the 2018-19 Associate Degree Nursing class. Well done, graduates. Audience, there's a reception that you are invited to in the Owen Simulation Hospital. It's out this building and to the right. Well done.
Have you ever reached the rainbow's end? Did you find your pot of gold? Ever catch a shooting star? Tell me, how high did you soar? Ever felt like you were dreaming, just to find that you're awake, and the magic that surrounds you can lift you up and guide you on your way? I can see it in the stars across the sky. Dreamt 100,000 dreams before, now I finally realize. You see, I've waited all my life for this moment to arise, and finally I believe. When you look out in the distance,